Good morning everyone. Welcome to TechnoInfoEd. Today, we're going to explore something that may seem small but is actually a very powerful part of public speaking: citations. Specifically, we'll see why and how citing sources during a speech adds credibility, avoids plagiarism, and builds a connection with the audience. This is Lecture 16 on significance of citations in public speaking. What is citation? Let's begin with the basic question: what is a citation? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, citation is an act of quoting. But in public speaking, it goes beyond simply quoting someone's words. It's about acknowledging another person's ideas, findings, contributions, or reports, and letting your audience know where your information comes from. It's an ethical responsibility. If you share a fact, you need to tell people who said it or where it came from. For example, instead of just saying, 70% of communication is nonverbal, I could say, according to Albert Mehrabian's communication study published in 1971, 70% of communication is nonverbal. That simple addition makes my statement trustworthy. Oral versus written citations. Citations can be given in two ways, orally or in writing. Oral citation happens while you are speaking, right in the middle of your presentation. You state the author's name, the title of the source, and the year it was published. For example, I might say, Stephen Lucas, in his book The Art of Public Speaking published in 2008, advises against saying phrases like, according to the internet. Written citation, on the other hand, is what we usually see in reports and research papers. It appears as in-text references or at the end in a reference list. For example, in MLA style, you might simply write, Lucas 41. Credibility through citation. Why do citations matter so much? One big reason is credibility. When you use reliable, authentic sources, you separate yourself from an unprepared or casual speaker. Your audience is more likely to trust you. Think about it. If you attend a health seminar and the speaker quotes statistics from the World Health Organization, you immediately believe the information more than if they gave no source at all. Why cite orally? There are a few strong reasons to cite orally. First, it avoids plagiarism. You're giving credit where it's due. Second, it makes your information more reliable and persuasive. Third, it shows you've done your homework. For instance, if I say, according to NASA's 2022 climate report, global temperatures have risen by more than 1.1 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century, you know I didn't just make that up, it's based on real research. Preparing oral citations. To make citations work smoothly in a speech, preparation is key. Before your talk, make a complete reference list of all sources you've consulted. This list will help you when someone asks you a question later. If you are using slides, you can even include a few properly formatted citations so your audience can note them down if they wish. What to cite orally? So what kind of information needs oral citation? Direct quotes from someone else. Any statistics or numbers. Research findings. Survey reports. Laws and regulations. Government orders. For example, a 2021 survey by Pew Research Center found that 85% of U.S. adults get their news online. That's a statistic, so it needs a citation. To cite orally. So what kind of information needs oral citation? Direct quotes from someone else. Any statistics or numbers. Research findings. Survey reports. Laws and regulations. Government orders. For example, a 2021 survey by Pew Research Center found that 85% of U.S. adults get their news online. That's a statistic, so it needs a citation. Quoting in oral citations. Quoting means using the exact words of another person. You must mention the source clearly. For example, from A.P.J. Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire, we are all born with a divine fire in us. In a speech, I could say, in his autobiography Wings of Fire, A.P.J. Abdul Kalam said, we are all born with a divine fire in us. That tells my audience exactly where the words came from. Paraphrasing in oral citations. Paraphrasing is when you take someone else's idea but restate it in your own words. This gives you more flexibility because you don't need to memorize exact lines. You can also add your own style or humor. For example, Stephen Lucas writes that each minute of speaking time requires 1 to 2 hours of preparation. I could paraphrase that in a speech as, Stephen Lucas notes in his book The Art of Public Speaking that even a short talk might need hours of preparation and research. Components of oral citations. When giving an oral citation, remember to answer 3 questions for your audience. Who? Who is the author or speaker? What? What is the title or source? When was it published? This keeps your citation complete and useful for the audience. Cautions. There are also some important things to avoid. Never say something vague like, according to the internet. Be specific. Don't mention page numbers or website URLs, they don't sound natural in a speech. Avoid repeating the full citation over and over. The first time, give the full details, later, just say the author's name. And don't read an entire written citation word for word, it will bore your audience. Key takeaways. So, to wrap up, citations are not just a technical formality. They are ethical, they add credibility, and they make you a more trustworthy and respected speaker. Always prepare your citations, practice saying them naturally, and remember, credibility is a leader's currency, as John Maxwell says. The more credible you are, the more your audience will listen, trust, and act on what you say. Hey friends, if you found this video helpful and learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button, it really motivates us to keep making more useful content for you. Also, share this video with your friends, classmates, or anyone who might benefit from it, because knowledge grows when it's shared. And of course, if you haven't already, click that red subscribe button and press the bell icon so you never miss our future videos on TechnoInfoEd. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.